The story opens in outer space on the alien mothership. A creature is observing Thomas Whitmore's rousing speech during the battle that took place 20 years earlier. The creature growls, but it's just a nightmare that Whitmore wakes up from in a jolt. Whitmore's daughter, Patricia, works for current President Elizabeth Lanford. Patty was a pilot for the military, but she resigned to take care of her father as he is more frail and disturbed after the invasion. She's friends with Dylan Dubrow Hiller, son of Stephen Hiller, who died in the years since the battle. Dylan is captain of the military pilots. After the battle, the so-called Earth Space Defense was established, with Area 51 becoming its headquarters. Patty's fiancé, Jake Morrison, is on a base on the moon working on a machine with his best friend Charlie. The machine loosens and nearly collapses onto the base, but Jake uses his pod to lift it and secure it in place. He later gets chewed out by his superior General Zhang Lao. General Joshua Adams is brought to the prison of some captive aliens that were kept alive since the first battle. It's mentioned that for the past 20 years they have been catatonic. But suddenly, a couple of hours ago, they all became animated and agitated. In Africa, David Levinson arrives with Floyd Rosenberg at a base to meet warlord Dickum Umbutu. David runs into an old flame, Dr. Catherine Marceau. They are at the site of a crashed alien ship, one that has a new shape and configuration they've never seen. Levinson and Marceau determine that the ship was drilling into the Earth at that point, however they are unable to determine exactly why. Umbutu tells them how he and his men fought the aliens and seized their weapons. Umbutu claims to have seen visions involving the aliens. The ship they've found has also sent a distress call to its home planet. The pilots on the moon get a visit from Jiang's niece Rain, whom Charlie becomes smitten with. Dylan also shows up, causing friction since Jake almost accidentally killed him during training. Dylan returns the favor by punching Jake in the face. They are both harshly admonished by Jiang. The moon base notices a spherical craft approaching them. It is also seen on Earth by those in Africa and those on Lanford's staff. Considering it a threat, Lanford orders the craft to be shot down. The moon team fires its laser cannon at it, sending it hurtling backwards. All teams celebrate, thinking they have scored another victory against aliens. In Africa, Jake arrives in his shuttle to pick up David, Catherine, Umbutu, and Floyd to the crash site of the craft on the moon, where they find a large container and recover it. We cut to David's elderly father Julius at a retirement home where he advertises a book in which he claims he was responsible for saving the planet. In a hospital, Dr. Brackish Okan has finally awoken from his coma after 20 years. He immediately gets out of bed and scribbles alien symbols on the walls of his room. On Earth in Washington, D.C., a celebration is held for shooting down the craft and for the 20th anniversary of the victory over the invaders. Several veterans from the first alien invasion attend, including an elderly and frail General Gray. Lanford credits the moon team for their effort. Thomas walks up to speak unexpectedly, but as he is introduced, he tries to warn everyone that they're coming back. At the same time, he, Umbutu, and Brackish all experience the same sensation. Just as high above Earth, an enormous ship, many times larger than the first mothership, approaches Earth. It first strikes the moon base, killing Zhang and several others, which Rain witnesses. The ship moves over the North Atlantic Ocean and levitates part of China and Dubai, causing destruction wherever it hovers. London, Shanghai, and Dubai are all destroyed when skyscrapers, cars, and people are levitated in the air and crash back to the ground. In the chaos, Dylan sees his mother Jasmine working in a hospital as she leads a woman and her newborn baby to the roof of the hospital. The woman and her baby are rescued, but Jasmine perishes when the building collapses under her, which Dylan sadly watches. Meanwhile, Julius is riding his boat as the attack hits and a large wave strikes his boat, but he survives. Jake later finds Dylan and offers his condolences. He says he knows his pain since his parents were killed in the first alien attack when he was a child, deeply regretting the last thing he told them was that he hated them. Thomas goes to the holding cell of a captive alien. He enters to communicate with it, but it grabs him with its tentacle in front of Patty and other soldiers. The alien uses Thomas to say she is coming. Patty shows a picture of a sphere, which the alien reacts to with anger. The soldiers shoot at the alien, breaking its cell open in the process. Umbutu kills the alien as it crawls out of its exoskeleton biomechanical suit. The military picks up an infrared reading from the new mothership, where they spot the alien queen in a chamber at the top of the craft. They figure if they can kill the queen, they can stop her fleet. Lanford authorizes the retaliatory strike. The newly refitted Earth Air Force attacks and are met with heavy resistance, both from the mothership and from a new design of alien attacker ships. The pilots fly into the ship and begin unloading on any alien that crosses their path. The new mothership uses a large beam to bore into the planet's core in the northern Atlantic. A boat full of men searching for gold near the site are contacted and they are offered money to send back information and to help in stopping the drilling. They jokingly tell the government that they want $100 million and are given the amount without hesitation. They immediately start their monitoring. The alien warriors also attack Lanford's command bunker in the mountains of Colorado, killing her and most of her cabinet. At Area 51, Adams is quickly sworn in as her successor. On Earth, Julius is found by 4 kids driving away from Florida after being separated from their parents. Julius comforts the oldest girl, Sam, as she has to take care of her siblings and she has no idea what happened to their parents. Julius takes over the car until they come across a school bus full of kids whose driver abandoned them. Julius brings the 4 kids onto the bus and drives with all the other kids. Meanwhile, Brackish breaks the container open and uncovers a large white sphere not unlike the one that was shot down. Unsure of how to open it, Floyd activates it by touching it, and the sphere comes to life. It speaks English and explains how the race that it belongs to was extinguished by the alien harvesters. Their planet's core was absorbed by the aliens to refuel their ships, something they have done to countless other planets. The sphere also states how it attempted to evacuate Earth, but it couldn't since the Moon team shot down the ship needed for the evacuation. As the pilots head toward the Queen, they start to realize it's a trap, and that she knows they're coming. The aliens disable the pilots' jets and weapons systems with an EMP-like blast. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain, still inside the alien mothership. Jake goes to distract the aliens while the rest try to steal the alien ships, but the aliens begin attacking them, but they manage to fight back and escape from the alien mothership before they are killed. The Queen's chamber aboard the large ship separates and flies off, looking for the alien sphere. A plan is formed to lure the Queen out to an isolated area where they can kill it with a nuclear weapon. Patty volunteers to head the attack, but Thomas makes it out before she can, knowing it's going to kill him. The pilots all get ready to fight as David prepares himself at the site of the attack. Thomas flies into the ship as the Queen's shields go down. Once she is in the trap, Thomas detonates the bombs, destroying the ship at the cost of his life. Everyone celebrates prematurely as they think the Queen is dead. She's actually very much alive. The enraged Queen rampages through the deserted area, attacking the pilots trying to strike her down. The drill is also closer to the core by the minute. As this happens, Julius drives the bus toward David's location. The Queen moves to attack the bus. Patty flies her jet above the Queen and fires at her shields. She manages to bring them down as the Queen's fleet starts swarming around her for protection. Jake, Dylan, Charlie, and Rain fly around in the swarm, trying to gain enough speed to break away for a new assault. They break free and shoot at the Queen from behind. She is mortally wounded and bursts out of her exoskeleton and flails around until she collapses and finally dies. The other aliens are brought down and the drilling ceases. Earth is saved once again. The mothership ascends and leaves Earth. Jake and Patty are reunited, and they kiss. Charlie tries to get that going on with Rain, but she says dinner first, to his delight. Brackish then approaches the pilots and his son with the sphere, stating that it can offer them new technology and weapons should they take the fight against the aliens into space before they come back. Everyone agrees, and Brackish closes the film by saying that it's time to kick alien ass.